not be those things. So I allowed myself to be defined by the labels quiet, shy, reserved girl, specifically those labels definitions. And so quite literally, whenever I came home from school, I would hide myself in my closet because I didn't feel like I was deserving to be seen and heard. And so I would hide in my closet, close the doors, and just be invisible to the world. And later in high school, I continued to choose mechanisms to highlight my invisibility. Every single day, freshman year of high school, I ate lunch in the bathroom. I went into a high school where I didn't know a single soul, took that as an opportunity to stay who I had been before instead of embracing who I was. So I ate lunch in the bathroom, and that is if I ate at all. I didn't gain 100 pounds until I was a sophomore in college. I would usually throw my lunch away in high school, and I didn't realize this until just a few months ago, but I was subconsciously not eating to fill my invisibility cup. I empowered my invisibility and my unworthiness, and that I wasn't enough, that I didn't deserve to be seen, heard, and appreciated. And so it wasn't until I started gaining different perspectives. And a moment I'll never forget was in high school, I took my first ever dance class. I instantly was convinced that dance is my first language. Words wasn't something previously that I was comfortable with. And so I felt comfortable, though, expressing who I am and who I've always been through dance, through my body. And so that has then later empowered me to use my voice, even though it makes me super uncomfortable, but I choose to lean into the discomfort to support others.
Why did you want to remain small? What was going on for you?
Because at those times, even if other people saw that I had those opportunities in front of me, I didn't see them myself. And so that's why I chose to play small, play invisible. And it ultimately stemmed from the limiting belief of not being enough, not feeling deserved, of being seen, heard, and appreciated.
So how did you shift your mindset? So this is really our core of our topic today. It's not only to be seen and heard. When I actually would use my voice, it scared me. I didn't know I would still be likable, lovable. I was a people pleaser, recovering people pleaser, and recovering perfectionist. And so when I would speak out, it was almost terrifying. So then I would stop eating, and it'd make me small, disappear. So I'm asking you, how did you shift your mindset? What worked for you to get you from, I'm going to continue to play small and hide, to I'm going to push through even though I still feel fear and still go forward?
The saying, perception is reality, that stuck to me. And one day I had a thought that people's perceptions didn't need to be my reality. The little Chloe growing up was defined as the quiet, shy, reserved girl.
Sure.
Just because those were other people's perceptions of me didn't mean that needed to be my reality. That didn't mean that was who I was and who I was born to be. Once I'm a deep thinker. I enjoy the rich, deep conversations, if they're with myself or with a book or with other people. That's what I strive for. And so once I allowed myself to jump into those conversations, that's when my mind being just started expanding to see everything that was possible. And I ultimately allowed myself to not be judged by perspective of perfection. I used to, again, compare myself to everything. And I think that when people compare themselves to something or someone, they either choose to replicate what they see, or what I chose to do was I self-sabotaged. Like, that's when I stopped eating. That's when I separated myself with people, because I was terrified of people. I would do everything I could in my power to avoid people at all costs. And so, yeah, it was just getting the clarity that my thoughts have so much power and so much weight to them. And I am the one in power of those thoughts. And I get to empower those thoughts to create and lead my actions and the ways of being.
So, what would be like a positive mantra you may tell yourself that is going to help some of others figure out how to shift their mindset when they're feeling fear and not feeling enough?
What came to mind is one of my favorite quotes, and it is from a movie called The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I remember watching this movie in high school. Hearing this letter, it changed my life forever. I'm creating a bed frame and I'm stenciling that poem. So I get to look at that and be reminded of that every single day.
Every day's a school day. I love learning.
For what it's worth, it's never too late, or in my case, too early to be whoever you want to be. There's no time limit. Stop whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. You can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. And I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people with a different point of view. I hope you live a life you're proud of. And if you find that you're not, I hope you have the strength to start all over again. So just the reminder that you can start all over again in any moment.
That's something I refer to as almost like plot twist. Something in life is happening and it's unexpected. You shift. Does it make it good or bad? No, there needs to be no judgment. You get to go through it, whether it's hard or easy, or it means the direction of your life, perhaps it wasn't meant to go that way. It was meant to go this way. Learning acceptance is tricky. I know for me, life hasn't always been easy, and figuring out ways to make the best of it is mindset. It is, yeah, it didn't go so well, not the way I wanted, what I get to learn in those moments. So, Chloe, one of the things that stereotypically defines millennials would be instant gratification. And so if stuff doesn't come quickly, right? Like you're working on a project and you want it completed fast and you want it to look great, and it doesn't. Tell me how you handle stuff like that. I know stuff has come up for you, so share with us maybe a time you can think of, the instant gratification, and then what did you do to shift to get through it?
It almost becomes like addicting, and you almost like rely on, at least from my past experience, like I almost relied everything to be instant because I was able to have it that way. Over 2 years ago, in the company that I work for, the CEO and the COO president was coming to San Diego. It was open to all team members in the office to sign up for a one-on-one with the CEO. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like, I'm taking advantage of this. Like, who gets this opportunity just like this any day? So I was like, okay, signed up. A couple days later, I found out that I was one of 2 people to sign up for the 8 spots. And then a day later, our CEO decided to only open up the spots for bankers. I honestly was a little pissed off because I was like, I am entitled to this spot. Like, I signed up, like I was one of 2. Like, who are you to take this spot away from me? And so I then was like, okay, Chloe, like this is an opportunity for you to receive something that is better than what you were going to receive before. That was the mind thing. I had to choose that. Even though I had no idea what I was going to receive, I was like, okay, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Like, I'm going to put myself in the driver's seat of my own car and make something happen. And so then after that, I was, instead of having a one-on-one, I was able to be part of a round table with 20 of their team members, including the CEO and the COO/president of the company. So I was able to be a part of that. It was an hour-long discussion instead of a 15-minute discussion with the CEO. But then after, I knew that the COO didn't have any one-on-ones. I went up to him and introduced myself. I would love to spend some time with you to have a conversation if you're available. And he said yes. Him and I ended up speaking for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And he then introduced me to other people within the company. It's created this beautiful ripple effect that wouldn't have happened if like get disappointed, get frustrated
Right.
with not originally having a one-on-one with the CEO.
Right. Not getting what you wanted immediately.
Right.
And instead you created it.
And I truly believe that that was meant. Have created several connections, relationships, i.e. my dream team that I was introduced to 2 years ago from the COO.
There's more out there, and what's meant to be is something of your creation, which is fantastic. It's also kind of segueing to this whole creating connection. One of the ways I do that is with making meals. I pour my heart into it and I serve it to you on a plate. It's making connections one plate at a time. Fast, quick fix doesn't necessarily mean healthy. Getting fast food is only going to take more time and is not going to nourish you. So have you ever felt a disconnect as far as with yourself? How do you make meals matter in your own life right now?
I love that. And it's honestly just been recently that I have aligned my worth to how I nourish myself. I actually just yesterday completed a 3-week cleanse for my gut to just like get rid of all the toxins in there. I'd never done a cleanse like that, especially when I had the mindset that I am enough and I felt that in my being.
Right.
And so I gave my body like everything that it needed. I would either not eat and like this is high school, college. I would either not eat or I would like go to McDonald's and get a large fry and a McFlurry, and like that was my meal. And so there was that instant gratification for me. I was craving it. I wanted it. I got it. And so I realized though over these past few weeks that like how deserving I am to be kind to my body. Your body is your vehicle for life.
But how do you feel after you ate?
Oh, like shit. Like when I satisfy my specifically sweet cravings, such as like a fry and McFlurry, I receive that like instantly, but then I instantly drop off the cliff. And so it's a short-term, almost like a short-term gratification.
Short-term fix.
Yeah, short-term fix versus the long-term. So it's like when I choose to Flurries go to Yogurtland is my guilty pleasure. I eat it and then I'm like, okay, what's next? That didn't fill me up as best as it could. But then when I choose to actually spend the time, make myself breakfast, make myself a protein shake, make myself dinner with fish, veggies, that kind of stuff. That's like when I feel it in my body and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is exactly what I needed, even though like I didn't think that's what I needed to begin with.
So then the part about connection, not only with you, you're realizing how much better you feel and how much more energy by actually eating quality ingredients. I'm guessing that you have traditions maybe around meals and getting together. How did you connect with friends? How do you connect with others?
I've always been a person for experience and connection. That's something that I long for. And a lot of my friends, our connection happens around food. It happens around a table, whether it is at a restaurant or at someone else's house or at a table at a park. It's different since COVID has happened because I have been able to create that connection. It looks different because it's virtually, but such as last night, it was one of my friend's birthdays and we got on the call, ate some appetizers and some people had some drinks going. And it's made me realize having things virtual like this, it allows for other people to be connected who are not from the same city. So like my friends live in Portland. I wouldn't have been able to be there, to be present if they decided to go to a restaurant. We have reinvented the way that we get to connect.
However you choose to do it, realize that you're not alone. Connection is important not only for our mind, but our body, our soul, and who we are. We came into the world connected to our mothers. I know that we seek it intrinsically throughout the rest of our lives. Every person here is unique and how you seek out experiences, how you move through them. But whether you're a millennial or not, that you get to go through this and not alone. You can get your quick fixes. And one of our tips is mindset, shifting it from just because it didn't happen now doesn't mean it won't happen, and or something better is coming in the future. But is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience today? Any tips or ideas?
A longing for me is wanting to be seen, heard, and appreciated.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen until I embraced who I was and stopped trying to mold myself into something or someone I wasn't meant to be. I'm using my voice to share that, like Mary Lee said, you are not alone. You are not alone in your thoughts, and you have the power to define who you are, and you get to embrace who you are to be seen, heard, and appreciated. So dare to be you.
Love it.
You're the only one out there.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Marilee and Chloe, for Making Meals Matter and Millennials. Have an amazing day, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Mwah.